Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from Arni's. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Welcome to Arni's birthday Zoom. Jeff Zgonina, a face for football and a face in the history of Purdue football, one of the best defensive linemen in the history of the program. He's a busy man these days with the Washington Commanders and celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday first, Coach. With your career and how much you've played in football, it's an accomplishment to all of that, but it's also great to be able to celebrate a birthday.
Yes, thank you. No, it's, my 53rd birthday. Oh, God, getting old. But, yeah, no, it's great. I'm doing what I love. I've been fortunate. It's my 25th year in the NFL, player and coach. So no complaints.
Yeah. Talk about, I always ask about birthdays growing up. And I know you came from Mundelein, came from the Chicago area to Purdue. I assume I'm making the assumption you grew up there exclusively. Maybe you didn't, but tell me about what your birthdays were like in the Zgonina household, having that May 24th birthday, probably near the end of school, that type of thing. But tell me what that was like. Were there any great traditions?
No, not really. We just always get to pick what we wanted for dinner, and that was basically about it. I'm sure we had some birthdays when I was really young, family over and everything. But when I got older, it was unfortunately this time of year it's spring, so Dad always wanted to work outside, so he kind of forgot about the birthday, especially when it landed on a Saturday. Wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go out in the yard to work, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, it's my birthday," and he'd be like, "I don't care, let's go." So there wasn't a lot of celebration with the birthdays for me.
That work ethic is well documented. Anybody that has your 17 years in the league and even your time at Purdue, working your way, a very highly regarded recruiting class, a lot of guys from the Chicago area under Coach Fred Akers. Talk about maybe your first exposure to Purdue growing up and how you got interested in coming to West Lafayette.
My grandfather on my mom's side, his neighbor was a big Purdue guy. He donated a lot of money to the original Mollenkopf facility to build it. And he always pushed it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It wasn't a big name, in our household, because being from the Catholic League of Chicago, was thought that I was going to Notre Dame, that was the funnel system back then. And then also the University of Illinois, and I was recruited by a lot of schools around the country, and it got dwindled down to, two coaches that recruited me that I really liked. One being Barry Alvarez at Notre Dame, and then Bill Kolar, who was at Illinois. Yeah. And I had originally was leaning towards Illinois, and then that staff got blown up, and Bill came over to Purdue, and I just followed him over. I was just like, all right, it's all about relationships. He was the D-line coach too, and I just took a liking to him, and that's how I ended up there.
Yeah, Bill Kolar was an excellent recruiter in his day and could convince guys like Jeff Zgonina to come to West Lafayette, and that was and the rest is history. Defensive Player of the Year for Purdue in 1992, still holds. You're up in the list on numerous tackles for loss, sacks, etc. But talk about that playing career, because you did have a coaching change, and from Fred Akers to Jim Coletto. I always loved the way that you were one of the first guys to not wear a high end number. I think your number, your jersey number preceded that you meant business, the defensive end position. But talk about that transition from Fred Akers to Jim Coletto and what you had. How did that taught you to adjust?
Well, again, at the end of the day, football's football. So you don't really, yes, terminology is different. Yes, philosophy is different and all that. But again, I love playing the game. I love teaching the game. So again, like when I moved from staff to staff with, different players, blah, 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 it's the same thing. It's football. At the end of the day, I've always kept it simple. as a player, and I keep it simple as a coach for my guys, because it's football. It
Yeah.
doesn't change. It's the same techniques, maybe different terminology. Once you get on board the terminology and you learn the plays and you play fast. So a lot of people make a lot of it. Yeah, you can get an upstart because it's new. Guys are like jazzed up that it's new. Usually the coach is leaving, it's been on a sour note. Unless they retire. But majority of the time it's a sour note.
Yeah,
and it's a fresh start. But again, it's football. It's just a game you've played since the playground in grammar school. And can't make more of it than that.
Yeah. In that class, as I recall, and I'm going off the top of my head, your recruiting class, Jim Schwantz, Peyton Minner, there were many, Lonnie Pally, some guys that didn't last. Didn't stay. Right. Yeah, Madden, et cetera. But that was a pretty, in terms of Purdue recruiting classes over the years, that was about as good as it gets from the defensive side as well. But talk about, and a real Chicago influence, which Purdue at times has not been able to consistently do that. Talk about that though, and a lot of your Chicago brothers that came your way.
Yeah, like that class. There was 4 of us that got drafted.
Yeah,
3 of us played, quite a bit of time. I think all 3 of us might have played double digits. I can't remember what Lonnie got.
Yeah.
But I think Jimmy, he got 10 years or close to it. He got 2 Super Bowl rings. I got a Super Bowl ring. And it was a great class. Now we did lose a lot of guys, because of academics, off that class. But all in all, it was a really good class, and we had a lot of fun. We just didn't have the success on the field. That was the sour part, because we were so highly touted coming there, that class, But, the whole Chicago thing was Bill and then Phil Bennett, Phil was the original guy for Chicagoland, and it just, we all got together and, it was a good class,
Yeah, no doubt. And
the funny thing though, like with Lonnie, so in '93, Lonnie and I were in the draft together, and we both got drafted to the Steelers together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of full circle for us,
Lonnie was transferred to UNLV and finished.
He went to UNLV. He was a DN at Purdue and ended up becoming a guard at UNLV.
Yeah.
And we played against. I know he played for Philly most of his career. He played for Pittsburgh, I think, then Cleveland, Philly, maybe.
Yeah.
But we played against each other a lot,
A lot of fun personalities in that group, as I recall, yourself and Jim Schwantz, Bonnie certainly as well.
Yeah.
Guys that knew how to have some fun, but played the game at a very high level. All right, you got Ryan Kerrigan on your staff. Yes, because it's your birthday, number 53. You're another year into mentorship. But what about working with Ryan? And obviously Ryan had a not as long a career as you did in the league, but a long career as well. But just what do you tell him as he looks at coaching and continues to develop from a coaching administration standpoint in the NFL?
Again, like I said before, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
He's a great resource for me and the guys in the room. He's got 95 and a half sacks in the league, which is crazy number, and he enjoys it. He enjoys like how I enjoy it. We are giving our craft back to young kids. And it only, that's our win on Sunday is when they do a technique or they have success on a play that we taught them, we worked on, and you see the face light up, like there's our win, there's our sack, there's our TFL, and that's how we do it. And he's doing one hell of a job, again, full circle. I was here, my first year here was his last year here playing.
Yeah.
And then he went to Philly for a year, and then he retired last summer, and coach gave him an opportunity. He loved it during training camp and stayed on, and I'm blessed that he did, because it works in our room with him. I'm a little upbeat, little hot-tempered at times, and he's an even keel, smiley guy in the back of the room, and it just works, And he's going to be a hell of a football coach if he continues doing it.
Yeah, he is an even keeled guy and a great guy, but my sense for him is he's a guy that's willing to learn too. And I think that's a key part. Guys have got to take something for each step of the way from people like yourself.
Yeah. He was an outside guy, outside backer, a little bit of a DN,
but mostly an outside backer in the 3-4. That's what was here the whole time. And, he's learning the nuances of a 4-3, learning what the tackles do more.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm learning some of the pass rush stuff, because you always want to learn from another coach, and when he's an ex-player, again, who was a sack artist, I learn new things every day. He sees things differently than I do. So it's always nice to have our balance that we talk about stuff. I always ask him how he sees it, and he asks me how I see it. And that's why we work really good together.
All right, last question for you, but I think in the world of the NFL, it is a different game in terms of mobile quarterbacks, guys that you have to account for that can run around. Not that they couldn't in your day, but more as a player, but it's more of an emphasis now. How does that change your approach and what you need out of guys that are playing your position?
I preach to my guy all the time, play fast and cause havoc, because it'll take a lot of that away. You shut off lanes, you're able to shed, you're able to, do games and stuff, keep the O-line guessing, keep the quarterback guessing, and Ryan and I are fortunate. We have a very good defensive line, and we had 2 guys in the Pro Bowl last year, we have 4 first rounders, on the front line. So, we just get after them, and every once in a while we have to put certain defenses in for some of those running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But the guys respond and they get it, they work as a unit. They don't work individually, which is what you want, especially against a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, it's May. It's your birthday, but it's also still time. It's hard to imagine it. Back in the old days, you didn't used to practice in May like you do now. Now it's a kind of a rotating schedule, but I hope you get a few minutes you got any plans for tonight or anything exciting that you're going to be able to get? You got a dinner on tap or what's up?
Like I said, I don't really do much on my birthday. I remember my 21st birthday, I was at Purdue and nobody was there because you got to go to Harry's by yourself. Yeah, I went to Harry's by myself. Had my first legal drink by myself.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah, but it's, it is what it is.
All right. Well, have a great birthday. Thanks so much for your
I appreciate it. Thanks for talking.
And good luck to you, and say hi to Ryan for us. He's always been great to us at Gold and Black, as you have as well. And we've got you on the cover of I think the Deadly D. I'll have to send you our Gold and Black cover for I think a year 1 or year 2, where it was not the burial garden. I'm trying to think of the term he used for. I forget what it is. But yeah, holding the casket. Yeah, and doing all that. But I'll send that to you so you get a kick out of that as well. Okay, but hey, have a great rest of your day. Good luck, and we'll be watching you all throughout the 2023 season. You got some talent there at that position for the Commanders. It'll be fun to watch your team continue to progress. Have a great one. Same to you. Thank you.